sometimes cutting dialogue scenes can be hard. Sometimes the dialogue doesn't run as smoothly as it looks on paper. Sometimes the actors don't, sort of struggle with the lines. They're not quite feeling it, or etc. And actually getting a convincing dialogue scene is sometimes hard. It can sometimes be sort of challenging. And with this one, that was totally not the case. It was the complete opposite. Like I was like, that was probably the first thing I did, was to cut the dialogue, scene together, and it just runs so smoothly. The actors were brilliant, and I think the dialogue that you've written was just it just felt so realistic and just believable. So that was, once I was like, oh, okay, well, that's easy. That was, and I think you watched it and you were like, yeah, great. That looks really good, and then obviously came the sort of so we need to know more about their backgrounds, especially like Avery's character. Then it's like, well, because we're obviously stuck in this one office, how do we give her more depth? And obviously you already had things in there like the podcast that she's listening to, and obviously the sea scenes as well, but the more challenging bit was how do we start the film? What is the introduction to Avery's world? The starting underwater was came out of that back and forth of how do we do this? What is the in?